Welcome to Off the Grid, episode number 4. I am your host, Jacob Bartley, and this is the Power Rangers podcast where we talk all things Power Rangers, mostly Mighty Morphin, as you can tell, but we eventually get into a bunch of other stuff. If you're a Power Rangers fan, then you probably know the hot topic right now is the Shattered Grid series in the comics. The issue number 25 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, officially starting Shattered Grid, came out yesterday on Wednesday. Today is Thursday, the 29th of March. So let's get into it. Last episode, I showed you guys some of my collector figures. I talked about Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, and I said I was going to talk about Power Rangers Zeo. But we're going to postpone my Power Rangers Zeo review until next episode, unfortunately. I can't wait to talk about Power Rangers Zeo, but I gotta talk about some of this comic stuff. This is the stuff that is hot right now, and it's most recent. So I gotta talk about some of the comic stuff going on. I got 2 issues to talk about: Go-Go Power Rangers number 8, and of course Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 25, Shattered Grid. Also, I'm gonna talk about that little mini trailer that came out with Jason David Frank playing Lord Draken in the trailer. It's a live action trailer, even though they're not coming out with the movie. It was just kind of to promote this whole Shattered Grid thing. But first and foremost, like I said, I showed you some of my legacy figures from last episode, which was 2 weeks ago. And by the way, I'm finding more and more each week that this is probably going to be a bi-weekly show, which means every 2 weeks. For now, with busy schedule with work and school and everything like that, I think I can keep up the pace of 2 episodes a month every 2 weeks. And then eventually I want to get back to once a week. But for now, we're going to do every 2 weeks. And there's not a lot of Ranger stuff to come out. Sometimes there's a stretch for three weeks or a month where there's no comics. So it's kind of understandable. And that way I can review the shows and everything like that. But first, I got 2 new legacy figures since I last showed you. I showed you the Red Ranger of the new Mighty Morphin ones with his sword, with the weapons included. Well, I got the Black and the Blue Ranger. So we got the Blue Ranger right here, and it comes with his staff, which is awesome. And the original Mighty Morphin Legacy figures that came out, they only had the blaster and then a piece of the Megazord. These ones actually have the weapons in it, which is really cool. And then, of course, I have the Black Ranger with the axe. The axe is right over here. This is awesome. I can't seem to find the Yellow and Pink Rangers anywhere. I really want to get those because they have the weapons in them. They have the bow and arrow, and then they have her Trini's daggers. So I'm out on the hunt. I'm literally stopping at every store that might have legacy figures and looking for them. I'm also looking for some of the other Zeo Rangers as well. So I'll be collecting those and showing you guys every time I get a new one. But first up, let's talk about Go-Go Power Rangers number 8 before we get into Shattered Grid. Alright, so first of all, like I said before, I am loving the connectivity between the Go-Go series and the Mighty Morphin series. It is so awesome. You would think they would never do this because they're the same set of Power Rangers pretty much, with Go-Go not having Tommy in there yet. But this series is making these small little connections. For example, and I guess this is a spoiler for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 25. And by the way, if you're watching this, I'm going to be spoiling Go-Go number 8 and Mighty Morphin number 25, so you have been warned. This is your spoiler warning. For instance, in number 25 of Mighty Morphin, Kimberly mentions Matt, who's her boyfriend in Go-Go. So, and we never heard of Matt in Mighty Morphin until that point. So there's all these connective strings with Billy and Promethea and all these things going on. And of course, the Shattered Grid is going to bring it all together. But this issue number 8, I really liked it. It wasn't amazing. There's some great things and great moments in it, but overall as an issue, it's not mind-blowing, if you will. But we did get a little bit more of Rita and Goldar's background. So like we talked about, they've been showing kind of the origins of Rita's crew, if you will, with like Babu and Squat and all those characters. We had already seen Goldar's origin in one of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger annuals, and they were showing how his origin with Zed and how Zed sent Goldar to go work with / spy on Rita. So we kind of see Rita expose Goldar in this and make him decide, does he want to work for her or die? And Rita kind of promises Goldar the opportunity to one day kill Lord Zed, because Lord Zed did kill his brother. So that makes a lot of sense, and that it makes sense why Goldar's so loyal to Rita now, and he kind of makes like a blood oath to be loyal to her. So that was really cool. I love how serious they're taking this and how they're coming up with ways to make the original series and some of the stuff regarding Rita and her villains make sense. It's really, really cool, the thought that they're put into this. Another thing that's really, really cool is, so we know that Matt, the putty Matt, the one who's been pretending to be Matt, has kind of gotten connected to the Power Rangers, you know, became friends with them, started to become human in his emotions and his personality and everything like that. And this putty ultimately says, no, I don't want to kill them. And then Rita tells Finster, from now on, I want all my putties to be stupid and mindless. And this makes so much sense if you think about it, because the putties in the show and just in the comics everywhere are dumb, other than this Matt putty. They're all mindless and stupid, and they don't know what they're doing. They just run around and try to fight the Power Rangers. And this makes sense why Rita would want them to be that way, because she doesn't want them to have personalities. She doesn't want them to have emotions because of this scenario. And this is way early on in the Power Rangers history. So the fact that this took place so early on, and then from then on out we see dumb putties, that makes so much sense to me. And they're really taking the time to explain some of the stuff that never made sense in the show and in the comics. One thing that's like been in this Go-Go issue, which I was never sure of, was the Jason and Trini thing. And they finally decided that, hey, let's just be friends, which is cool, because I don't necessarily want heavy romance in my whatever it is, superhero movie, superhero comics, whatever it may be. I don't want heavy romance. Subtle romance is cool. I don't want it to be a main storyline. I don't want Trini and Jason to be a main storyline. I'm okay with Tommy and Kimberly, because they don't, even in the comics, even in Mighty Morphin, it's subtle. It doesn't overshadow other things going on. It's in the background. It's a little pieces of it, and when they use it great. I'll talk about that in number 25 in a second. But I'm glad, I hope that the Jason and Trini thing's over. It's cool if they have a little flirtation and they have crushes on each other, but I don't want there to be this heavy romance where like they're in love and we see 4 pages of Jason and Trini going on a date. That's not what I want in my Power Rangers comics. Also, one big thing in Mighty Morphin number 8 is when Billy shows his worth. We know he has been doubting his ability and doubting his, you know, importance as a ranger. And as we know, as the other rangers know, Billy's very valuable. He's the most intelligent ranger. He knows how to deal with all the scientific and magical stuff in a way that has to do with the morphing grid and the Zords and all that stuff. And none of the other rangers other than Trini have an idea what they're doing when it comes to that. So he's very valuable, and he kind of shows his worth in the battle. He figures out that they need to fight the Putty Zord in separate Zords, not in the Megazord, because it knows all their moves. So that was really cool to see Billy prove his worth. And then they're like, see, Billy, we need you. And then you're sticking around, right? And they show Billy frowning, which shows he's down to roll with the Power Rangers and be there because they need him, but he still wants to go work with Promethea, and he still wants to go do his own thing, which is kind of unfortunate because he probably could have done a lot of good with Promethea. Overall, like I said, I like this issue, but one thing is very cool at the end. The last page, we get to see the Ranger Slayer. She's on the cover of the next issue of Go-Go 9, when a portal's opening and the Rangers are standing in front of somebody and you see her in a far distance. That's Ranger Slayer, and it's an alternate version of the Pink Ranger. We don't know who's in the suit. We don't know if it's Kimberly. We don't know if it's Catherine. I kind of want it to be Catherine, honestly, because if we're going to have this character be in this Shattered Grid series, I don't want just an evil Kimberly. We already have an evil Tommy. I don't want an evil Kimberly. So I think it would be pretty cool if that Pink Ranger from the future, alternate universe or whatever, is Catherine. I think it would give a new dynamic to it. She looks so great in that suit. That suit looks amazing. I can't wait to see what they do with her. Hopefully they make a legacy figure of her too. How awesome would that be? Because they're making the Lord Draken legacy figure, which I'm getting at Power Morphicon. I want a Ranger Slayer legacy figure. Come on, Bandai or Saban, whoever's making the toys these days. Now, before I talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 25, I want to talk about that Shattered Grid trailer. That thing is awesome. I know it's low budget, obviously, but how awesome is it that Jason David Frank is playing Lord Draken in this trailer? His voice sounds great. That Yellow Ranger that's next to him looks amazing. I love how he's watching all the different Rangers from all the different times and eras and how they're pulling quotes from all the important moments throughout the history of the show. And then they show that moment when Tommy loses his powers and he's telling the Rangers that he appreciates their friendship, and Draken's like, who is this guy? He's such a wuss. Like, he didn't say that, but he's thinking that. And he's going to go after every Power Ranger of every era and either kill them or try to make them join him. I don't know, but that trailer looks awesome. It makes me want a Shattered Grid movie. Hopefully one day in the future we continue the new Power Rangers franchise and they adapt Shattered Grid somehow, some way in that movie franchise. But this leads into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 25, the one we've all been waiting for. Now, if you buy comics, if you buy physical comics in the comic book store, you might have gotten something like this when you picked up your issue. This is a cover they had it in, which was crazy. They had this thing sealed, and then I realized why, because I think everybody got a different cover. See, I have Draken holding the Yellow Ranger helmet, and if you look it up online, it's mostly him holding the Red Ranger helmet crushed. I got the Yellow Ranger helmet crushed, which is kind of unfortunate because I was expecting the red one. Nothing wrong with the yellow helmet. I love the Yellow Ranger, love Trini, and all the Yellow Rangers. But I was just expecting the Red Ranger, and now I'm like, if I would have known that, which I probably could have found that out if I did some more research, I would have bought multiple issues and tried to get different colors, but I didn't see any more at the comic book store, or else I would have. That was in my comic book saver. Wow. This issue is crazy and it's amazing, and I'm blown away. They took so much risks. Like I said, spoilers. It opens up with Power Rangers Time Force, which makes sense because the Time Force is keeping track of the timeline. I think all the other Rangers died in Time Force other than the Pink Ranger in this comic. I think she went out to go to try to do something, and they tried to close the grid, the portal, whatever it was, with the Megazord, and they all died, and she got transported to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers time era. So that's crazy that right off the bat they kill a whole team of Rangers. I don't know if they're dead, but it seemed like they did that. And then we see her go in, and then it jumps to the current time with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They're arguing about what's going on, and man, there's some crazy stuff that goes on in here. One thing, Draken goes to Ninjor. If you know Ninjor from Power Rangers Season 3. Now, I don't like Power Rangers Season 3, and I don't like Ninjor in the show, but in the comic, when I saw him, I got excited, and he looks cool, and the way that Draken uses him to get his powers back was awesome. So I'm kind of on board with Ninjor now. I don't want to watch Ninjor in Season 3, but like the mythology behind Ninjor and how he can kind of forge Ranger powers is really cool. So I was digging that when Draken went to go see Ninjor. I thought that was awesome. And then we get to the moment. Before reading this, I was like, okay, Drakon, he's gonna like do some damage, right? He's gonna kill some of the Rangers from the other timelines because we're not as attached to those Rangers. Like, he killed the whole Time Force except the Pink Ranger. Damn, that's crazy. But like, there was no connection there. Like, there was no. I didn't feel sad or anything like that. I wasn't shocked, but I thought it was cool and thought it was crazy, but I wasn't shocked. But when he kills Tommy Oliver, I don't know if Tommy's dead, but they set it up so well. Like I said, the way they used the Tommy and Kimberly romance to set this part up was amazing. They were about to kiss. They both felt awkward. They walked away, and then Kimberly's like, no. She turns around to go chase after him to kiss him again. And then the next page, you see somebody say Tommy. You think it might be her. He turns around. Lord Draken stabs him in the back with the sword. Like, whoa. That was a shocking moment, a big moment, a risky moment. And then you see Kimberly is running at him, morphs. She's about to fight Lord Draken. And I have a feeling Lord Draken was going to slaughter her. Like, if all the Rangers are going to have trouble fighting him, Kimberly's going to have trouble fighting him. But then we see the Power Ranger from Time Force, the pink one, pop in. They fight him together. He bounces, and then we assume that Tommy's dead, but it's Power Rangers, so anything can happen. They can take him back to the command center, and they can fix him up. They can time travel and find a way to bring him back and save him. I definitely think by the time Shattered Grid's done, they're going to save Tommy and bring him back. But for now, I think he's dead. And I was assuming that Draken was going to do some damage and kill some side Rangers, meaning like Power Rangers from Dino Thunder or some of the Rangers from the other era that we're not as connected to. But he straight up killed Tommy Oliver, the alternate version of himself. That is crazy. And I was like, what is going on? What a great start to Shattered Grid. The hype is real. The hype was worth it. I'm so excited, and I cannot wait to continue reading Shattered Grid. I think the next issue that comes out is like, it comes out next month, but that's crazy. I don't want to wait. I want to keep watching it. Oh, there's the annual coming out, the Shattered Grid annual, and then Mighty Morphin comes out, and then Go-Go number 9 doesn't come out until May or something like that, which is crazy. But what did you guys think? First of all, what did you think of Go-Go number 8? What did you think of that Shattered Grid live action trailer? And what did you think about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 25? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think it's crazy what happened? Were you satisfied with this issue, with all the hype and all the build-up? Please let me know in the comment section. Again, I am Jacob Bartley. This is Off the Grid, a Power Rangers podcast. Thank you all for listening. Until next time, may the power protect you.